What up, everybody? Good morning. Apologize for being late. It's just what it is. BG, aka Kaneem Curvey. I don't BG. That name sound is B. It's just BG, right? Is that the name?
That's it.
All right, rapper, right? Rapper.
Always.
Uh, no, you've been producers. You've done.
But no, I did R&B for a whole week, and then
Right,
I did reggae
right,
for a whole week. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'll probably go back to R&B next week.
What's up,
Yeah.
Jeff? Good morning, man. Blessed Lisa. Thank you for being here. Um, so, so yes, okay. So today we're talking about trust, struggling with trust, trusting others, and things of that nature. Do you struggle with trusting others? Um, and so I kind of thought about this because I was watching a YouTube original, so a very productive production, well done YouTube video, um, talking about a young lady. I can't remember her name, doesn't matter, who pretty much conned big companies out of some good money. She got on the scene. She started with social media, just like everybody. Started with social media. She said she had cancer and how she beat cancer with natural remedies. Natural remedies beat cancer.
Oh, one of them.
Right, right. So that's already like what because everybody that knows somebody that probably got cancer, dealing with cancer, died from cancer. Cancer like, ooh, see what you got going on, just in case
Yeah,
I get cancer. Let's find out. So that
yeah.
automatically gets you some numbers. Um, and she lied, but we'll get into that. So she so she started like an app, because of the response and everybody like uh like a health like a health app where it kind of gave you inspirational messages and recipes, so it's like two for like something to kind of encourage you and hey, why don't you try this because this does this, and it grew. So when she dropped the app, over 200,000 subscribers or downloads or whatever. um Amazing, app is they got so big, Apple had a meeting with her, a meeting to
Yeah.
and at the time it was a secret meeting because they had a secret project coming out, which now has been known, Apple Watch. And what was going to happen was her app was going to be automatic, and thank you for clarification on that, Kareem. He said automatic default onto the Apple
Yeah.
Watch. So every time you
Manufacturer
and
default.
default, right? So you're gonna automatically have it, because you see things like, did I ask for this? Like, just a real side note, like Newsbreak. I never asked for that app. Everybody has Newsbreak, I think now, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. I felt like, because I get everybody like I think about Kaneem. Every time you send me an article, it's from Newsbreak, and I'm
Yes,
like,
sir.
and everybody I think reads Newsbreak. Like, did anybody ask for that? That's conspiracy. So, because Kaneem has Android, I have Apple. So, where did Newsbreak come from? All right, so so she's gonna be a default. She actually wrote a book, like a recipe book. Penguin Publishing, huge publishing company, was publishing the book, and where the cracks began to happen, she posted that she was going to give money, half the money to charity, and she didn't. I think it was the amount of money they calculated was supposed to be like over $300,000. She gave it maybe a total, it said, of $10,000 to charity. It's like, interesting, and pretty much crack. The cracks happened, of course, from news reporters, and was shout out to newspapers because they got time to really dig into your business.
Yeah.
Those are the folks you never want to piss off because they got time. I got time.
Yeah. But they pound the pavement.
Right, right. I got time. I'll make phone calls, a phone call, another phone call, email. Like okay, okay, okay. Oh, and they pretty much discovered that that was a lie. It's like, what else is a lie? And they, it's challenging to dig into doctor records because of HIPAA laws and things of that nature. So you can only go on accounts of what friends may say, like, did she go to the doctor? Did she, one of her friends was like, "Yeah, she said I had a doctor, Dr. Phil."
No, stop playing.
This was her testimony. This was from one
Come
of
on,
the
man.
friends.
It ain't Friday. Stop playing.
No, he did, Dr. Phil. So that was yeah. So pretty much, she lied. She lied to everybody. Of course, Apple got rid of the app. And then the backlash of like, you guys don't vet. No one. You don't have anybody in your department that could take a couple of days, to really scrub social media, to really look into her life, to really check, like, does she exhibit a habit of someone that has cancer? I mean, I wouldn't know what it looked like. Right, Jeff. Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Wow.
But yeah, so I think about that. I don't know if you guys know about the Theranos case. What's her name? Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I can't remember her last name. Elizabeth, and how she just pretty much bamboozled, everybody. Investors, everybody.
I will say this, her theory is a true medical process.
Right.
But what she did was all fantasy. But they do have something that if it takes one drop of your blood, it can be analyzed on a daily basis.
So
that was part of her theory, but
yeah,
she couldn't do it.
Yeah, she didn't make it happen. I mean,
yeah. But it's true now. But the dude that did it is an academic in California.
Oh, they figured it out.
Yeah. So
wow.
they trying to make it on a mass scale, so it won't be so expensive.
Okay, because it's definitely needed, man. People, I know for my wife, she's a hard stick. My son, hard stick. They always gotta start the digging and jiggling, to get for some blood. And so one little prick would be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But like, how do you not know? How do you keep up with Hassad like that? Like, I think about, because you trust, like you have, they have a degree, they look like they got it together. Because let's keep it 100. Because we judge on looks. we judge on looks. We know it won't be like the main thing. Sometimes you're like, well, maybe they're having a bad day. Like my man, like another case, Sam Bateman is the name, with the whole crypto company. What's up?
Oh yeah.
Sam Bateman-Fried, I think his name is. So good morning, at least if I didn't say that.
Happy Tuesday, all.
What's going on there, brother?
Good to see you, man. Happy Tuesday to you.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure to see you, bro.
So like Sam Bankman-Fried, like his look, I told someone, I said he looked worse than Mark Zuckerberg. At least Mark Zuckerberg t-shirts are like they look together. Mark Zuckerberg keep it simple, but this dude he looked like he just rolled out of bed, like, oh, interview. Oh, wait, I'm coming.
Hey, what about your modern day Pinocchio? That the congressman from New York.
Oh,
Santos.
How did that happen? What's up with the vetting process? Like, what's the deal? I mean, I guess.
Hey, you talk about telling the lie, trustworthy. Oh my God! Like, what is all that about?
Right.
That's not even that's committing a crime right there.
Yeah.
Hey, they challenge him on everything, and he literally has lied about his mama, his job, his money, his education. I'm talking about just everything, boy. I'm like, whoa, why?
Right. Well, I mean, listen, I get, if I'm trying to position myself in a certain space, and no, I don't condone lying, but you end up, hey, I did such and such, and nobody verify. Like, I'm part of this. Oh, really? And you can speak to like you're actually part of something. So granted, you got to maintain it. I got to maintain this lie because this lie has got me here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but keeping it 100, I don't know. For me, my conscience, I may be able to, like, you know, if financially a lie or an assumption that I just, you know, co-signed on, now it's a lie, of course. You know, like Pastor, like, yeah, ain't there such and such. This is the moment that I could be like, no, Pastor, I don't do that. Or, yeah, Pastor, yeah, I've been doing that. How long? 5-6 years? Like, you know, but if I speak to, like, I know what I'm doing, it's like, who gonna really question it?
Yeah.
And I got, and see, unfortunately, you know, I got Corey, he's already co-signed on it. So it's real. It's real.
What did 45 say many years ago when asked would he ever run for president? He said, if I ever ran, I would run as a Republican because you can tell them anything.
Yeah.
Well, that has been proven time and time again.
I mean, I get it. I get it.
You just have to have the talking points. As long as you have their talking points, they will vote you in.
Yeah. I believe that goes both ways, though, Pastor. I don't discount. Yeah, I believe that goes both ways.
That's not for me because here's the thing. I love voting.
Right.
I really, really do.
Right.
I love voting. But I'm weird when it comes down to it.
Right.
I actually follow policy.
Right.
I don't just vote with the crowd.
Right. I get you.
You know, and if I have a feeling, a gut feeling, I'm going with my gut. But it's after checking policy.
Right.
Now, if you lie about who you are and your background, and I don't have the ability to go and check.
And then
but here's the thing. I shouldn't have to go and check.
Right.
There should be a process in place, a screening process for candidates.
Right.
Because I promise you, if I was running for the House of Representatives, they would check everything in my background. Everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
They tried to challenge Barack Obama's birth certificate
several times.
And the fact that old buddy came up with over $500,000 to fund his campaign, and they don't know where the money came from.
Oh, right. Did you hear about the him and the what do you do? Scam like getting help for a veteran's dog. There was a dog, and he started a GoFundMe page.
I was gonna say I'm waiting on the GoFundMe story.
Oh yeah. A veteran's dog, and I think it's over $50,000. Of course, he disappeared.
And that was no dog.
Right. Listen, so the person I forgot what y'all was watching. It was like, you messing with a veteran's dog. He's like, have you not seen John Wick? Have you not seen John Wick?
Hey, but the what I thought was just cold blooded was that when he said his mama died because of 9/11, and she died like 3 or 4 years before that. Like, wow, like, come on, man, like, really?
Well, it's really, how gullible can we be?
Yeah. Because that's public record. You can verify that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who your mama name? I can look that up. Yeah, you can find that. That is true. But I think what it is too, Pastor. I think with some folk, they figure there's a lie, right? But you've gone so far that I just don't want to look foolish. I've co-signed on this dude, and how did I not do these basic background on him? Like, let it go. I mean, for me though, I was like, you need to stop lying. Just stop. Let's just stick whatever story you got. Stay there. Just don't do another thing. Because I'm like, I promise you'll be in federal pen. If you say
insert distraction here.
Right. Exactly.
We'll cover it up. We'll use this over here.
Right. So no one asks any more questions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you just toe the Republican line, but you can't make a name for yourself, right? You gotta stay on the low, just vote. If they ask you a question, be like, I don't know which way I might lean.
Shout. Trump is responsible for those documents that were found in Mar-a-Lago. Just say that out loud. He's not going to jail for that, so it's okay to jump on that.
You got to give the them something because you can't. Because as soon as you become one of them, you're gonna get vetted hard. Oh man, he's a military tweeter. Oh man, so yeah, that's crazy. So I these folks. Like, how do they get through the system? How is it? I don't know. Like, I struggle having to prove my identity if I don't have my wallet. I'm going to the bank. Like, I give you every bit of information. Oh, we need your ID. I can tell you everything that's in the account. Like, help me. Help me.
Yeah.
And these folks just do the most. Have you guys seen the Bernie Madoff documentary?
Not yet. I mean, I know the story.
Nah.
Because Enron was in Houston.
Yeah.
But I don't know the intricacies of how it started and and the backstory. I don't know that part.
Oh, there's so much. Man, there's so much to the Bernie Madoff case. There's so much. There's so much. Jeff, you seen it? There's so much. First off, you see like, oh yeah, Bernie wasn't the only one. This was a system. He was just leading it, but it was part. Yeah, it's really good. Like,
well, people have to turn a blind eye for something like that to be successful. Right. Someone has to not be paying attention.
Yeah.
Right. Because once the SEC gets notified, there's turnaround time for response. The question is, how early were they actually notified before they took it seriously?
So there was, I'm gonna say this. There was somebody in the SEC working. Oh wait, worse than that. Hold on. He actually worked with the SEC. He's actually created stuff though. Like he created new methodology. He's like the genius. He's the man. He got away with it for decades. He said, "Look at his." I mean, no, it was horrible. Like
listen.
Yeah, it never ends well.
As long as you keep the right people happy, you can sustain it.
Yeah.
One or two things going to happen. Either you get old or you're unable to keep the checks coming.
Yeah.
And that's when you go to prison.
See, and that's where the quandary happened, because he wasn't able to keep the checks coming.
Right.
But he got connected and they covered the checks.
Right.
And so that was one of the biggest accomplices. He died.
Well, the total definition of Ponzi.
Right. Listen, he kept the Ponzi going. He's like, oh, you need a little more cash? Here's a little more cash to keep them checks rolling. I'm telling you, and it's crazy. He upgraded NASDAQ. Right. Oh, let me help you build it. Y'all need help building this foundation? I got you. I'm coming. Make sure there's no crooks around here. Make sure nobody's getting over on the system. Right. This is a lie. He said his monthly statements shows people actually printed on a dot matrix printer, which have been obsolete. Going into 2000 on a dot matrix printer.
Yeah, right. But you know what? If the numbers look right, it doesn't matter what it's printed with.
No, listen, Pastor, listen. I'm 100% with you, because everybody's statement was looking like tight, and this money was available. Like their payments were available. So if you put in 100,000 and every month you getting $1,000, like who gonna question? Like, I don't care. I don't even want to know what the magic is happening. I'm getting paid. Oh, stocks are losing and I'm still getting paid? Who questioning? I don't know what he's doing. I don't know.
What happened to the investment groups from 2 years ago, where you put in, $100, but you get out $800?
Right.
right? When it's your turn. What
Oh,
happened
you
to
talking
those
about the
groups?
Susus?
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah,
I forgot what it was called.
yeah. They still, I think they still kind of exist. The Susus.
The who?
They call. Oh, you. Well, no, not the. I'm sorry. You talking about the ones that are trying to grab everybody? Yeah, those.
They're just in your
Those
community.
collapse.
You know,
I
here
remember
we
that.
get a group of people, and each person every week it's somebody's turn to get
Right.
a big check. But you
Yeah.
put in 100,
Right.
and when it comes back around to your turn, you end up with 800
Yeah.
or 600 or whatever the case
Listen,
might be.
I know people that they got paid, but
Yeah. How many times?
they got paid. They got paid and they got out.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
So
All
the
right.
thing fell apart. They
That's
fell
what I
apart.
want to know. My point is, Ponzi schemes come in all shapes and sizes. Where are they now? Because I'm trying to find the millionaire. Where is he? Where is she?
They gone.
I haven't heard anything about those groups anywhere in the last year.
Right. He said Amway multi-level marketing.
At least Amway had products to sell.
Right. Listen, you can't. And I was about to say that you can not like them, but at least they look legit because they at least got products. They selling something. They're overpriced, but they selling something. You buying the product. You know. I know what you're talking about though, because I don't want to mention name, but yeah, I know somebody that got him. Actually, I know two folks that got into it. Listen, they got paid though.
Yeah.
The system, I mean, listen, they got paid, and the people they brought in, they got paid too. So I don't know. You just they
still getting paid?
No, they got out. They got
out. Okay.
Next round, they're like, nah, I'm good.
Okay. So that didn't even last as long as Bernie Madoff, huh? Yeah.
No, not at all. But
at least nobody went to jail. That's good.
Right. Oh, right. He said those were floating around my work.
They're floating around everywhere, man.
Right. I think I'd rather just give into the lottery pot. Let's go on. We all gonna get some numbers together, and hopefully one day we can all leave together. He said no flyby paid, right? Oh man, but yeah, definitely struggling to trust each other, struggling to trust others. Like, so when your trust is broken, right, and not going back to the same person, do you struggle opening up again? When your trust is broken?
With the same person, you mean?
Somebody, even a new, like, just bringing somebody new in, like just connecting with somebody. Do you ever?
I'm a believer in. I believe everything you say till you show me different.
Okay. So it doesn't erode. It just like that's just not that person. What about you, Kaneem? Has your trust eroded when your trust fails or agreements are broken? Does it make it more challenging to connect with somebody else?
No, I mean, each individual is different, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I learned from each person that I've had dealings with or been exposed to in the past, especially when it comes to money. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right.
If I feel that you moving funny, then that caused me to have a little, alarm go off in my head that I gotta tiptoe around what I'm giving you as far as information or cash. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if I see you moving in a way that's legit, or I feel like responsible, then I mean that's how we gonna move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like to, because when I'm doing business, folks, I like to be transparent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to be like, oh, I don't know, man. He should have told me that. No, I'm telling you everything up front, because you may have a resolve for an issue that I don't know how to approach. You feel me?
Yeah.
Right. So why would I not just give you all the information?
Right.
Because I feel like if you holding anything, then it's something that you got, either you trying to set me up or you trying to set somebody else up, and you want me to be a part of it. You feel me?
Yep.
So that's just how I move.
Gotcha. So with that, right? Do you feel like when it comes to I'm trying to get my question right. I got an old man moment right now. When you're trying to develop when you're trying to develop a relationship, right? Or not even develop, take that back. when you meet somebody, do you ever judge based on what you see? You ever
When you when you say when you say based on what you see, what do you mean?
They look shiesty.
Oh, look! Oh,
Nah,
someone
They
compares.
look trustworthy. Come on,
nah,
keep it real with me. Keep it real with me. You ever?
I done met some dudes that, you know, look like they real gutter. I mean, like, true.
Right.
Like, he ain't got no money.
Right.
And, hey, he come back with a bag full of cash. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I learned long time ago.
Never.
You can't judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? Let people show and prove what they trying to, you know, come out their mouth.
Right.
And if they can't produce, then that's how you go forward.
Right.
But I learned not to look at nobody. Oh man, he can't do nothing. Nah, I can't say that.
I got you. So you never judge a book by its cover. What about you guys out there in the audience land? Do you judge? Do you? And I know, I don't judge. Come on, what's first sight? Do you have an opinion like, I don't know if I can trust them? I don't feel like, I don't think. What do you go off of looks? Do you go off of talk or how someone speaks? Does that affect
all of that? I think it's all of it. It's natural to have some doubt, right? Faith is critical because doubt is around, doubt is available.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think it's human nature to look twice.
Right.
But I still think it's based on the situation. The reality is you can't hide or prevent yourself from being disappointed. You can try and mitigate the amount of disappointment, but thinking that it's never going to happen is a mistake.
Right. Hold on. Sorry, my bad. It's a thing that's going to happen is a mistake. Because Kaneem's background noise. So I got you muted, Kaneem. So just if you need to speak, I'll mute you.
These things happen. They're just a part of life, But I choose not to live in a box. I choose not to live under a bridge. I choose not to live a life where I'm so protective of myself that I miss out on experiencing the fullness of what life brings. So, but I was looking at Jeff's comment.
Yeah.
I think he was talking when I said, I believe everything you say too, you show me different. And that's where I'm coming from. That's the premise that I'm coming from. But I do think that it matters. If there's a business proposition or something like that, yes, due diligence has to be done. It's there's levels to it. Right. You so call me your friend, I'll be your friend as long as we're friendly.
Right.
But I can't, you just can't walk through life thinking that you can prevent every level of disappointment. That to me, that's wasted energy.
Right. I mean, so like if someone comes in and, we always talk a good game. I got to sell myself first. You hear it like, okay, that sounds good. And then now it's trying to verify skills or whatever connections or whatever you have, so it's like you hear it, but just more or less, all right, I hear you. You kind of like right there. Like, I hear you. You talk a good game. Sound like you know what you're talking about. Now I got to verify if you can actually do what you're saying you could do.
But that's why being well-rounded is so important. I think that, if your network, if your relationships are ever going to grow, you're going to have to assume some risk.
Right. I think that's big right there. That's big.
Yeah.
Because that's big.
Yeah. I mean, how are you going to grow? Yeah. How are you going to grow? How are you going to evolve? I think it's important that you obviously you have a sense of awareness. You pay attention to things.
Right.
You have a sense of recall. But I think that the only way to grow is through risk.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, I like the way that sounds.
As Jeff said, car business and dealing with people every day, you learn there are some constraints in people and speech and looks. Indeed. What's up, Richard? Good morning, sir. He said, pastors does it the opposite of me. I make somebody prove trustworthiness first, mostly if it's something important. Indeed. I think that's the most challenging part of the building relationships is, you know, the proving ground or the opening up, the unsurety. Especially if it's somebody that's like new to the circle, you know, that doesn't have a verifiable person to really, you know, say, yeah, this person can do or is, or you can, you know, because for me, like what you always hear me say, like people that come on here, I'm gonna let you know our timeline. You know, yeah, I kind of just met them. They seem cool. They know this stuff. I can't tell you they're gonna do great business, but they knew this stuff. You know, I'll let you know the levels of our relationship. You know, like Kaneem is a solid dude. I've known him for a couple of years. You know, he's a dude that I feel like won't do you wrong. He's gonna tell you the truth. You know, you might not like it, but he gonna tell you the truth. You know, and where he is, you know, is where he stands. So, it's sad. He said, Kaneem driving down the middle of the river. Now,
What is that?
he said you're driving down the middle of a river. The way the sound is. Now, Kaneem going to Cali. He said they about to give out reparations. He headed to Cali.
Man, I wish I sure would get my steak and be in line for it. No, I'm out of Bucktown.
Oh, I think he just there you go. Oh, okay, you back.
And I think that suffering through the vestiges of disappointment can hinder your ability to trust again.
Right.
Because what ends up happening in some cases, mentally, you paint a picture, and everyone that walks into your realm looks like the last disappointment.
Right.
And you can't throw everybody into the same category.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
You said a minute ago, I know this person to this extent. Hey, is Kaneem a good guy?
Right.
You know, but all we did was coach baseball together.
Right.
Well, I know he's a great coach.
Right.
You know.
Right. Let me be clear.
Yeah. I know him. Coach. I know him on the field.
Right.
I've never been to his home, but you know, for everything that I saw on the field, he seems like a good person. You know, anybody who wants to give back to young people, to the next generation, I think is a good person. Right. You know, he never disappointed me on the field. So we have to be careful, you know, versus, oh yeah, he's a great guy. Oh, I didn't know he was broke. I had no idea. No, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. He could swing a bat. He could shoot you. You know,
he got this nice truck.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on at the crib. I just know he got it together. So, wow. Yeah.
What about, and what's interesting, you know, here's another scenario. You know, AD, you and I conduct a business transaction.
Right.
That went sideways.
Right.
And now you're looking to conduct a business transaction with someone else, a different business transaction. Right. And so someone comes to me and says, hey, Anthony Walker came to me. He approached me with this, and I know you've done business with him before. You know, what is my response?
Right.
Oh, no, I'm doing a business with him.
The last recommendation.
Right.
Man, that's like the worst. Like,
right. But the thing is, just because the transaction didn't prove positive for us,
right.
doesn't make you a bad person or a bad businessman.
Right.
We have to be careful how we define, how we describe people, how we summarize our experiences.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at that myself, man. I try to limit my characterization of folks.
Okay.
A lot of times I don't do them true justice.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I should be giving them a little bit more accolades than what I have given. Sometimes I give them too much than what they deserve.
Oh, okay. I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah. You can make someone look like they can move mountains and they're moving
Right.
pebbles.
Right.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah.
you know what's so crazy about it's so funny that you bring that up, Ashley. Because like he was in the same area. You know, like he boom on time and then it just was all it I could verify, like, yeah, boom. It's solid. We only did one transaction, but it was like boom, solid. You know, so I was like, yeah, he deserving of a next level because he came through and boom, boom, boom. That's so wild. Like it just, but it's like what can I like? It was in the area. Like it wasn't a coach situation where a great coach. You can use him for an investor. You know
What's funny? What's
Investment.
funny is here's a sports comparison.
Okay, all right, let's go.
Seattle Seahawks.
Oh gosh,
Russell Wilson.
Okay.
His experience, his first 5-6 years in Seattle, destined for the Hall of Fame. He got traded to Denver Broncos because they weren't as productive in Seattle. And now he looks like the worst quarterback in the league.
Wow.
And the only thing that changed was the color on his uniform. Right? He's the same quarterback. Right. And now he's getting teased. There's all kinds of memes and quotes about him shouting, "Let's ride" in Denver. And they ain't rode nowhere. His reputation, am I wrong, Kaneem? His reputation has fallen into the bucket.
Yeah.
It's bad. And is he less of a person? Is he less of a quarterback, or is it just the wrong scheme?
That's deep.
Yeah, I think it's the wrong scheme, man. Because I've been following Russell Wilson since he was at North Carolina State, and he ain't never been no scrub. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He ain't got no mental instabilities. He ain't really hurt. I just think that he was in the expectations were so high, and the coaching staff and the scheme that they had him in wasn't productive to his skill set. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying?
And so someone will not want to work with Russell Wilson,
right?
Because he's in a bad situation.
Wow.
And sometimes people can be in tough situations, and you paint a picture. It shows a picture, and what happens is we take a snapshot of that picture, and that becomes who they are, not where they are.
Wow, that's deep.
And we do that.
Let that marinate, guys. Let that, because that's real. That is real. That is real. I just got put into a bad situation. Wow. Just so that guy could be a good guy. Yeah, but due to circumstances beyond his control, went south, but now he's right. And unfortunate things can happen to good people. Wow.
Yeah.
Trying to make that comeback. And then if you're in a group, only one, all they can remember is you didn't do a good job there.
Yeah.
not noticing the things went bad. Go ahead.
That's just like my man Shannon Sharp when he went to the Lakers game this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, Shannon Sharp. Now, when I give Shannon Sharp all the credit in the world, because he don't back down from controversy.
Nothing.
But what he did this weekend, it was all Shannon Sharp.
It was a bad look.
It was a bad look. And ain't nobody ever gonna forget it, because it's all over the TV screen. It's all over each channel. Like, I don't care what channel you turn to. Somebody then talked about his outburst and what he did as a fan. Like, he wasn't even there reporting on the game. He was just there as a fan.
All right, give me the setup. Somebody give me the story, because I don't know it.
So he's at a Laker game. He's a huge LeBron James fan.
Right.
Huge. So he's a LeBron James fan, Laker fan, but I think he's a Laker fan because of LeBron.
Okay.
And so one of the players, I think it was Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
So Shannon Sharp is sitting on one end of the court as a spectator.
Right.
And they're bringing the ball down, and I think it was just before halftime, him and Dylan Brooks got into a little bit of a shouting altercation.
Okay.
Then Ja Morant's dad chimed in, and it looked like Shannon Sharp and Ja Morant's dad was about to come to blows. And you could see Ja Morant's dad saying something to the effect of, "I'll
Right.
blank, blank, blank. And Shannon Sharp was like, I wish you would. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. Which I bet he wouldn't either. You know, but but the thing is, it kept going. Right. Shannon kept pressing, and it just looked really, really bad. And it looked bad because Shannon Sharp is a sports commentator.
Right. You Shannon got more Sharp to lose.
Hall of Fame tight end.
Right.
You know, you expect more from him.
Right.
You know, because he's supposed to be an example, but he had a bad day.
Right.
It's so tough now. It's so bad now. He had this blue light and this multi-blue sweater on. Now people have posted where you can buy the sweater that Shannon Sharp was wearing when he acted a fool.
The internet.
It was crazy. I mean, the fact that you there as a fan and you took away from the game, you took away from, because it's like every camera in the stadium was just on them. Like you know, the game had to stop. Like we got to take care of this first. Well, we can't even start the game no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it was only like maybe 2 minutes. Right. It wasn't a whole long time.
But the benches were cleared.
Yeah.
Crowd. It was a big crowd at the end of in that area of the court. It was a lot of attention unnecessarily on Shannon Sharp. Like, why are you making? It was ugly. It was ugly.
Man, his apology was sincere.
Okay.
And it almost canceled out his actions.
Okay.
But you still got to see the actions.
Right.
Like, I mean, he apologized to everybody and his kids, his grandkids. I mean, he apologized to everybody.
Would have had his own headline.
It did. Yeah. It really did. The sweater is all over the internet.
Nice. Yeah. Now I gotta go. Right. I'm about to go watch it too. I'm gonna go watch it.
And I know he ain't want to apologize to Skip Bayless because him and Skip be going at it. Like, I gotta go apologize to Skip too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, man, it was wild, man. It was wild.
But and so the thing is, does he get a pass, or will you forever hold that over him? Right? Has he now become?
But it's gonna always be over him, just because it happened. Like, if somebody else disagrees with him or has some, will he handle it the same way? Maybe he will. But before that moment, you thought he was always going to be upstanding. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now that he's like, he might blow up on you.
Right.
He just might blow up on you.
Right.
So now you got that little, maybe he won't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? So now the station, the media, the network has to ask themselves, can we trust Shannon Sharp out there at public events? Has Shannon Sharp lost his composure one too many times because of the fact that him and Skip go at it pretty hard?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But is that his first public outburst?
No.
That I not probably. Well, at that level, yes.
Okay.
At that level.
Okay.
Because he always been one to speak his mind.
Well, no, I'm talking about like outside of the show.
My point, you say at that level, but that's what I'm saying. It's gotten progressively more polarizing.
Right.
Because it was just a few weeks ago that he didn't even show up on the set because he was mad because of Skip's comment. Right.
Yeah, but it's best to say nothing than to go off like that.
Yeah, but what sports commentators, what anchors will tell you is you don't give up your seat.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no way.
You show up.
All right.
Right. And
there's always somebody. There's a line of people waiting.
Right. And so now the question is, can we trust Shannon's behavior?
Has that been out there?
I'm saying we're talking about trust, and
I get you.
With trust, and I'm saying that someone could be asking that question.
Or no doubt.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
they definitely can ask that question because you can best believe Stephen A. Smith ain't giving up his seat.
Okay. And that's the one who said it. That's the one who said it. Stephen A. Smith is the one who said one thing that you don't do is give up. You need to be in that chair.
Right.
We're supposed to be in these chairs. And Stephen A. Smith says that's the difference between me, who's always been a journalist, and Shannon Sharpe, who was a previous player. His passion for the seat is not the same.
Right.
I can see that.
Oh, because that's all what Stephen A. had. You know, like.
But he came out of college being a journalist, though.
Right.
Yeah, you know, that's his goal. His goal is that seat.
So imagine how he feels watching getting because I'll tell you something. JJ Redick and those guys last year, man, they ran the train. Ran the train. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, you said it. You said it.
Too late.
Yeah. And everybody who black and a man know what you meant.
That's not what I meant. That's what I said.
That's what you meant.
No.
That's what you meant.
The term is running a bus over someone, and I'm like, they ran a train over him, and it's accident. They ran one of the bus. They ran circles around Stephen A. Smith last year doing NBA commentary, and so he's in his feelings because he's supposed to be the expert, but now you have these former athletes now becoming commentators, and they know the sport. Not only do they know because they played the sport, so now they have access to the same information as Stephen A. Smith, but the only difference is they've actually played on a professional level, so they have more credibility, and that's tough.
I'm glad you cleaned that up. Tim Legler pretty good too, though. I give him that.
Legler, absolutely.
Yeah, I like him.
Absolutely.
I like him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, these guys they're doing it well. I got to give it to them. You know, these former athletes that have become commentators, a lot of them are doing it very, very well. Some of them need to go back and get some training, but for the most part, it's been entertaining.
Yeah, I give you that too. Some of them.
Yeah.
I like your boy Jalen Rose. I like him. I think they need to put him out front.
And he is. I think he is kind of somewhat out front. I think he messed up marrying Molly Querim, and then that going sideways, because that's why you never see him on First Take anymore.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't even know how that came to be. But if you know it ain't that type of, like, I can see the lust in it, but they should have just kept it as a boyfriend girlfriend type thing.
Yeah. Danny Hocker, not everyone wants to be on TV or politically correct. I think Kendrick Perkins needs to stop. I'll tell you something, Danny.
I like Kendrick. I
love Kendrick Perkins because he brings a different type of authenticity to the platform, and he knows his stuff. You know, he gets emotional, he's passionate and all of that. But when he's wrong, he admits he's wrong. But I know he can be over the top. But his love of the game and his ability to speak about the sport and what's going on, and the relationships that he has, I think he's a quality and productive commentator. But I get it. You have to have, there's only, for certain people, there's only so much of him you can handle. I get that part. But I like
that's how I feel about Richard Sherman. There's only so much Richard Sherman I can have.
I don't
as far as a commentator. It's only so much of him I can have.
See, that's right. Like, you want to talk about something that does not feel authentic.
Wait a minute. I missed this whole thing.
Is Richard Sherman.
Where did we get into sports? How did we get down to sports train? Where did we get here?
We're talking about trust.
We're talking about trust. Trust, authenticity. Right. Are you being yourself, or are you putting on a show? And I think Richard Sherman works way too hard. He's overacting.
Gotcha.
But he's trying to be politically correct for the TV camera. Because he want to curse. He want to be rah-rah. That's just his natural ability. His natural progression is to be over the top, but he is trying to be like he's trying to be like Steve Young. He's trying to be like Randy Moss. He can't be them though. He is not them. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. And I'm saying to you, that's what I don't like. His personality on the set is the opposite of who he was on the field.
He said
exactly
on TV.
That's Richard Sherman. He really is a hood dude.
Right.
But he is dumbing it down to the best of his ability.
Well, that's because he went to Stanford.
He's trying.
He's dumbing it down to the best of his ability.
So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Just breaking out of trust. Don't be afraid to trust. Don't be afraid to trust. I would say trust and verify, but verify and then verify again, and then again, then maybe one more time.
I heard somebody say, telling yourself that you'll never trust again will only get you one result: the inability to trust anybody.
Right.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, I know, and I get it. It's challenging. If you've been unfortunately burned a couple of times in a row, it's like, what am I doing wrong? Why is it I can't trust these folk? All right, but don't be afraid to trust again. All right, Jeff, it's not on fire. It's not that bad. It's a little bright. It is bright. I don't know what's going on. I ain't never had the sun over here like this, but it's all good.
Down there, man. It's not a cloud out here, man. It's real bright outside. Cold, but bright.
Cold and bright. The good old Georgia. It'll be 90. It'll be 90 by the afternoon. Don't worry. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time, same channel. Mental Health Wednesday. Thank you again for always being a part of what we do. Thank you for all your support. Make sure you share. Let everybody know. You know how we do. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that follow button. Make sure you check out the podcast. All that and then some. If you missed any broadcasts, go to the podcast, right? And while you're driving, you can just be binge listening to all that you missed. All right. He said, great conversation. So I can't ask a question that doesn't relate. Mama Corey, you've never asked that. Go ahead, ask your question that does not relate. And I'm nervous.
Yeah, please do.
Let's go.
She never really. She always.
You that? Yeah.
She ain't never got no question though. I want to stay around here. This.
Right. Then I gotta go because I got an appointment. But go ahead.
Oh man.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry.
What's that?
I got an appointment to run to, but I can't let this just slide by.
I hope you're typing, Mom.
Right. Right. There's the delay part. Then that's the only thing I hate. It's always like the delay. Like
if we don't get this question, make sure we save it for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll save it for tomorrow. Okay. Now we're in suspense. All right. Hold that question.
Oh, you got us waiting, and then you're not going to ask. So that's the fine. Next time, Mom, don't ask if you can ask a question. Just ask the question.
Just ask it. Just throw it out there.
All right, brother. Y'all have a good day, man.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Bless you, man.
Take care.